It is said to be impossible to defeat, and at present the unclear cause of its fusion is being ascertained, but it is unlikely that any clues will be found. When last we saw our heroes, they had gone their own way. Machinedramon and regrouped had suddenly relinked in the desert that they had so rightfully left everyone behind not too long ago, as the digital world has seen an unknown distortion. As explosions and ripples could be felt, the two mega level Digimon actually regrouped in the land that they were from, as the different areas had been retaken over and dominated by their allies they once knew, as all of them had reached mega level status, with Phoenixmon overseeing the plains, the water and coastline taken by Vikemon, the jungle that has the massive expanse by Hercules, Kabuterimon, and Rosemon, has all seen the Mega Digimon have their own place, but disturbances have been felt, as unknown Digimon that seem to appear out of nowhere have begun to attack, and the Mega level Digimon in the areas have now sensed that there is a problem. Although only champions, these Digimon are unlike anything they have seen up to this point. Not necessarily sure where they came from, they've done battle and defeated them, as across the jungle, Hercules and Rosemon dealt with their problem. Along the coastline, a massive one, the size of Vikemon, attacked it. However, it was not strong enough. In the case of Phoenixmon, two were sent to attack it. And in the case of Machinedramon and regrouped, the two of them were more than enough. However, when they defeated their last enemy, it simply laughed as it was disappearing, telling them that their lord was coming, and that the rest of the digital world is in peril. After having similar speeches to them, the other Mega Digimon relinked, as allies and friends finally reunited. However, they wish it was on better terms, and in this case, they had returned to the desert area that has seemingly distorted itself, as everything has an eerie tinge of white, as an almost seemingly thick haze covers the desert. As the group would venture into the desert, the distortion's origin would soon be clear, as they would see a white, misty creature believed to be a Digimon slowly reform, as unfortunately for them, this was going to be the beginning of the end. As the creature would crystallize, it would form a shining, beaming dragon locked inside of a crystal. As the radiant lights would shine off, the Digimon were confused, wondering what this was. However, this was only the beginning, as all of a sudden, throughout the digital world and the network itself, holes began to rip open, as lights and energy began to peer throughout the areas. And in the case of the crystallized Digimon, cracks began to form on its crystallized shell as energy began to erupt. It seemed imminent that this was going to explode. However, across the different areas of the digital world, beams of energy had spewed out. As across the different areas, many Digimon were shocked as they were rocked, wondering what this was and what was happening. Even the overseer Yggdrasil had been confused but shocked, as the energy being emitted from the Digimon's aura had actually shattered its viewing window deep in the net. However, as the eclipse finally happened and the shell broke off, an imminent light shined, and it was so bright that it blocked everything out as it went off, as the light of evolution does not just shine for heroes. Once the light dissipated, it was up there. A creature of unknown origin, but of almost limitless power was felt, as its massive size dwarfed most of the mega-level Digimon there, as they could feel the presence of a true monster. Unknowingly to them, this was Millenniumon, bearing the parts of both the fallen Machinedramon and with the managed DNA of Chimeramon, this creature was much more than the sum of its parts, as Millenniumon had also been absorbing data from the defeated Digimon of the area. As much data was comprised into its body, allowing it even more power than it probably should have, and also due to the fact that it had been largely hiding in the desert area, buying its time, its form was nearly perfect for what it was. As unlike the others, this creature was angry and mad, and deciding to take it out on the first thing it saw, it charged at the Digimon that were present. As their 6 heroes sprung into action, they did what they needed to, with those that could fly into the air taking it to Millenniumon, as Hercules, Phoenixmon, Metal Garurumon, and even Wargreymon prepared an assault in the air. It was surprising that both Rosemon and even Vikemon attacked from the ground, as this was something they realized had to be dealt with. However, Millenniumon was not phased, as it was able to knock away the Mega level Digimon in the sky, as it actually revved up its cannons as the infinite cannon on its back fired off. The devastation to the digital world was crazy, as the shockwave knocked both Hercules, Kabuterimon, and Phoenixmon to the ground. Seeing no other option as everyone else had fallen, Metal Garurumon and Wargreymon decided that they would try their combination once again. As their two attacks would mix, the massive attack would go after Millenniumon, believing that if any damage were to come from this, it would have to be from this attack. As the massive explosions rang out in the sky, smoke overtook the area, as it seemed that Millenniumon had been encased in that explosion. However, erupting from the smoke, Millenniumon was no worse from wear. And as it had seemed for our heroes, it would go worse, as Metal Garurumon and Wargreymon were simply swatted out of the sky. As they would come crashing down, the rest of the group would regroup, seeing that their two allies had fallen. And, seizing the opportunity, Millenniumon would lead a charge back in. However, in the sky, a ray of light and an attack of 7 concentric balls would come to attack it from out of nowhere. As the light shined above and they descended from the heavens, 2 of the 3 great angels finally made their presence, as both Seraphimon and Ophanimon had arrived at the battlefield. Originally following the situation, they had come from the Digimon heavens, as certain Digimon had begun to descend and head into the digital plane, which they were not supposed to do. As of this time, the heavens has always been separated from the lower part of the digital world, as Yggdrasil interacts with the top, but never with the main frame itself, which all the Digimon are a part of. However, Digimon had been departing to see, as something had been calling them, and in their attempt to avoid their lust for power, they still came to see, as the formation of both Machinedramon and Chimeramon had been taking place. The power that was being emitted was so alluring and tempting that many Digimon fell prey to this, even those of the heavens. As many of the heavenly Digimon would fall prey, they would be converted, twisted, and become the first fallen angel Digimon. As Ophanimon and Seraphimon would link with the group, it was decided that they would join together in order to stop Millenniumon. With their combined strength, they believed that this was possible. However, Millenniumon is extremely powerful, and it is unknown if they will win. However, in order to know what will happen next, you'll have to wait. So, this is Brad from the Ed Army signing off, and for all of you out there to sign on.